Start off, I'll be honest with you, when I'm usually asked to come and make a presentation, I usually come in and shoot from the hip. However, when asked to come and do a presentation today, my office advised me that I would have to be prepared. I've never been nervous doing a presentation shooting from the hip, and now that I'm prepared, I'm nervous. So here it goes. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor for me to be addressing such an esteemed audience this morning. On behalf of the Sturgeon Falls Brush Group, I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me to participate in such an important and timely event. Our company has been harvesting biomass since 2006. We started collecting biomass as a requirement of contracts we were fulfilling for the Ministry of Transportation. As part of the highway expansion and upgrade programs, newly introduced provisions required us to not only collect the processed wood fiber, tops and limbs, but also account for them. There was a few approval reuse for this wood fiber, but the most sensible one to us was to find a way to supply energy conversion facilities. We have concentrated our efforts in supplying energy conversion facilities since that time. The challenge in 2006 was to cover the cost of transporting the biomass to the end user. In those early days, we actually subsidized the cost of disposal and built that into our contract price as best as we could. Slowly, with a downturn in the lumber industry, the amount of available biomass shrunk. As mills shut down, the bark they used to supply as hog fuel disappeared. The demand grew to a point where it is now possible to harvest biomass for the sake of harvesting biomass. The jury is still out as to whether or not this can be done in a sustainable, economically viable manner. Because of our company's commitment to contributing to greener futures, we have embarked on a full-scale pilot project with Tembec to harvest biomass in Nipissing Forest and transport it to the Tembec facility in Temiskaming. We are monitoring closely the costs and revenues of this relatively new segment of our operation, but we are of opinion that even if the revenues do not justify our efforts today, they will in the very near future. Our biggest challenge in this venture is to make money. A number of factors will have to come into play to make this viable for all stakeholders. The Ministry of Natural Resources, through its SFLs, used to pay to manage and dispose of tree tops and limbs. Now they have come up with a system that will generate revenue for the ministry. Until such time as the true cost of harvesting versus market value can be established, or a system put in place to tie the price of biomass to the price of natural gas, a moratorium on these dues should be put in place. As much as the government is looking to do this previously waste fiber as a commodity, it should take realistic looks at the true costs and benefits associated with this use. From our perspective, this is a business, pure and simple. We can sit here all day and discuss the altruistic vision of a better, greener world, but the fact of the matter is we're in business to make money. And regardless of its value to society, we can only do this if there is something left to contribute to our bottom line. Don't get me wrong, I don't expect that there is a fortune to be made here, but in order to make it work, all of the stakeholders must take a reasonable approach. The government, in its quest for new revenues, must factor in the cost avoidance in providing the forest management. It must recognize that even though there is some value to this resource, no new trees are being cut for this purpose. The end user, in its quest for energy savings, should aim at closely as possible at a cost neutrality in order to make sure that they will be first in line for any greenhouse gas credits that will most likely be introduced. The harvest and supply component will more than likely regulate itself on the day-to-day private enterprise competitive basis. For this to work now and in the beginning and to remain viable for the long term, we all must be reasonable in our expectations. This time has come to bring our energy requirements and supply to the next level and work together for a brighter future. It is with this intention that our company will continue to work on any available pilot projects, and we are pleased to announce that we are currently in negotiations with the Municipality of West Nipissing, the Austrian Trade Commission, Polytechnique of Austria, for the establishment of a pilot project in West Nipissing. The project will consist of installing a 1.5 megawatt portable heating plant outside the municipal complex, tie into the existing hot water heating system, and heat the pool area with biomass for the winter. Cost comparisons, factoring in the current cost of biomass versus the current cost of natural gas, as well as the degree days versus last year, will allow us to establish the break-even point for biomass in our area versus cost of natural gas. As natural gas is currently the lowest cost energy supply in Ontario, costs for areas not serviced by natural gas will be even more attractive and will be easily determined from existing corporative data. At the same time, the equipment and technology used will be available for evaluation by various regulatory agencies. In closing, let me just say that the reason we are here is because we believe that the future of Ontario's forest industry is dependent on the successful inclusion of biomass in the product sector, and we have a vested interest in seeing this come to fruition. Thank you very much.